me. Welcome along for another hour where we just have a chat about what's been going on in the last week and what I'm looking forward to doing in the week to come. Now, if you're checking us out for the first time, please join the chat room and say hello so we can welcome you to our little get together. And if you're watching this on the replay down below, you know what to do. Just sign in, let us know you're there, and we can have a chat and talk about whatever we want in the video this week. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping to start off with. As you know, we do this all the time. And the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is the weekly newsletter. The weekly newsletter is something that you're very welcome to join. And what it does, it gives you an update on what's been going on over the last week or so. So it will be my blogs, whatever blogs I've decided to last week, they will be there. Then there will be videos from the week before. So that will give you a chance to see that. And also I've started putting like a replay, an action replay from way back when, from the early days of the channel, starting to just show an extra video there so that you can just check in and see what else has been going on. It's worked out quite well so far. A few people have been checking it out and have said that they've enjoyed it. And I'm enjoying going back through them, you know. It's surprising the stuff that I talked about two and a half years ago when I first started this channel. And it's enlightening to see how much I've aged as well. Now, talking about that, good evening, Chris. How are you? It's chance for just quick chat going back over the last week, because it's been a funny week, you know. On Thursday, I've been trying to get my health sorted for God knows how long. This has been going on for a year. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. I'm looking over that way because this is where my chat room is on my PC. So I watch it over there because it's in such tiny little letters there. It's the raccoon. Hello, Dave. How are you? Welcome along for this week. And yes, as I was saying, I've been trying to get my health sorted out for ages. So I kind of got fed up this week when I spoke to the doctors trying to get my appointment brought forward, because I had a load of tests and had these tests done, and I got them all back and they seem all right. They don't seem too bad at all, but I still feel rotten. The sort of example of a thing is, in order for me to be here now, I've been in bed for 2 hours before we started to try and build up a bit of energy. So I said, get live energy now, and then when this is over, I'll go downstairs, put the telly on, sit down and fall asleep. It's just the way it is. Hello, Jonathan. How are you? But anyway, I was trying really hard to get an appointment with my doctor. I've got these results back, but I couldn't get an appointment before January the 6th. So I ended up ringing them, kind of just letting them know of my displeasure in a friendly-ish way, an irritable way, if the truth be known. And Dave, I had an ECG the other day. Anyway, they got me in. The doctor phoned me back and said, "You obviously need to see a specialist. What are you doing today? Can you get to the hospital today if I phone them and get you an appointment?" And so I said, yes. So they phoned the hospital, got me an appointment. So I rushed down to the hospital and got in there. And the upshot of it all is, having looked over all my results and tests and all that thing from the last few years, I had 22 blood tests the other week, and the doctor said that everything that was important is fine. My heart, my lungs, my liver, my bowel, my bladder, my kidney, all those sorts of things are fine. So they're not worried over that. So that's a bit good. But what he did, after chatting to us for about an hour, he says, I've got this, I could have this thing called sleep apnea. Now, I kind of think I might have heard about it, but in the distance, so I haven't really been looking. So I might have this sleep apnea. So what I've got to do, they're going to take me into hospital, and I'm going to have an overnight stay. And when I try to go to sleep, they're going to test me and put loads of probes on me, I suppose, to see how I sleep overnight and find out whether I do indeed have this sleep apnea. Now, I've been reading up about it since, and it sounds like it might be the thing. And if it is that, and they manage to sort that, I'll be honky-dory back in action again and feeling much fitter than I have done in ages. So that was good. Friday, that was one good thing this week. Friday morning, right? I don't know if I told you, I may well have done ages ago. Back in August, I got caught by speed cameras speeding on the M25 as you go in to the Dartford Tunnel. I was supposedly doing 50 in a 40 zone because they'd changed the speeds down and everything. So anyway, Friday morning, I got this phone call because tomorrow I'm supposed to be going on a driver awareness course. But on Friday, I got this phone call from Kent Police. And they said to me, you have an appointment for this course on Tuesday, yes? So I said, yes, I'll be going. And he said, well, you don't need to now because we're cancelling your offence because we found out there was something wrong on the national roads. So I take it the cameras weren't right. So I've got no points on my license again. I did. I've got away with that. So we had 2 days, 2 good things. Because the thing is, it cost me £100 to book onto this course rather than get points on my license. Well, as I don't need to have points on my license, I don't need to go to the course. And God, I'm waiting now just before Christmas to get my £100 back. So that'll be good. So what we thought we'd do is a 3rd day on the trot. We felt that what we should try and do is do the lottery. So because things come in freeze, don't they? But it didn't. Our lottery was really bad. I got 1 number. So that's where we stand at the moment. So fortunately, I don't have any of those problems. Let's see who's just checked into the room. Tammy, how are you? Good to see you here. Steve Val's my mate. Steve, how are you, my mate? There's a few of you about today. I hope I've caught you all. Anyway, so that's the situation we find ourselves in at this moment. Before I go any further, I've got some thank yous to say. Last week in one of the videos, Chasey Delaney did one of those super thanks things and sent me some money. So thank you for that, Chasey. Really, really happy with that. Thank you so much. And the other day, right, I got the postman came. Do you remember if it was either last week or the week before? And I was talking about the Marx Brothers films that I loved as a kid, and I hadn't yet got round to getting them. Well, one day this week, the postman came, and there was a little package there, and I thought, what's this then? And I opened it up, and Chris Pomfret, who I expect is in the room, I know I've said hello to him. I think he's still here. He may not have gone yet. Chris sent me 4 Marx Brothers films. So I was like, yee. And I managed to watch the first one of them last night, and it was great. So thank you very much for that, Chris. That was exceptional. Right, what's next? Well, I've got a video already done that will be going out on Wednesday. And starting tomorrow, I'm going to be heading back into these CDs and doing the 3rd part of that little collection. There's some good ones coming on this one. I've got to be honest about it. I'm well chuffed, Chris, honestly, well chuffed. And I've got the video coming out on Wednesday. And so hopefully we'll start the video tomorrow. The music ones take for ages because obviously they have loads of photos and things that I have to sort out. I have to scan record labels and get them all out. And then, of course, I have to make the little videos up to go in with them. So that takes a while. So I'm hoping that video will go out Saturday. And that will bring us up to date, I think. And yes, that's where we are. So that's where we are at the minute. Those are the videos we've got sorted for this week. Yesterday was my eldest son's 39th birthday. I bet you didn't think that old, did you? 39 years. And it's a funny time of year for me because as of yesterday, I've got 9-day increments because as of yesterday, my eldest son's birthday was on the 9th. My youngest son's birthday is on the 16th, which is 9 days later. And then 9 days after that, we've got Christmas. So, yeah, so that's a busy run-up we've got coming. And, of course, last week, do you remember me saying that you've got to get round to doing these music videos for me for Christmas? So where you do a video and you send me the tune and everything, and then you singing me a little Christmas song. Well, I did my part on it this week. Do you remember last week? I promised you that I would get Debs to sing a song that she does in the nursery, the frog song. Well, it took me all week, but last night we got it done. I have a video. I'm going to have to edit it because there's a lot of swearing on her part before she actually gets around to singing the song. Highly hilarious. And like I said, if you join the newsletter, you'll be getting a link to that video sometime soon. But don't forget, I would love to have your videos so that we can do a little Christmas video and I can share you with the world. What else have we got? I think it was Chris asked me if I wanted to talk about Steve, Rivet. Yeah, sure enough. It's not that song though. I asked you in my post the other day what you wanted me to talk about today. Hello, Luke. How are you? Yeah, I'm wrapped up warm, and we got the ears on. I'm not falling for any of that old rubbish. Luke, I have to tell you, you know, I said ages ago about getting done for speeding on the Dartford Tunnel. They've cancelled it. I haven't got fined. I haven't. I've got a letter from Kent Police. Let me show you. Well, I have somewhere. I got a letter from Kent Police today to say it's not happening. So I'm all fine and dandy. Cornwall is wet and dreary, but not too cold. Well, as I asked about what you wanted me to talk about and what you wanted to talk about as well. So this is your chance to jump in. Someone asked me, I think it was Chris, said I should talk about the weather. Well, the weather has been grotty as hell. It seems like it's rained every day lately. I don't know about you. It's been pretty damned awful. I went out for a walk. When is it? Yesterday. I went for a walk yesterday, and as I've told you before, walking's a bit of a struggle for me these days at the minute because of lack of energy and everything. So we went to the Costa that's near us on the way to the supermarket, and I don't drink coffee, so I don't drink coffee out there. But they do these chiller things with like free red berry things, and they're really nice. I love them. Where is ZA, Brenda? I don't know where that is. Is it Zambia? Let me just check. Trying to find out. Let me check out where you're from. South Africa. I've just found your page. I've just had a quick flick over to see where you are. So you're in South Africa. Ah. Bootsy, hello to you. So it's cold in South Africa, is it? I always thought this time of year it'd be fairly warm. So what else do I know? Yeah, the weather here has been pretty awful. I don't know how it is around your parts. Quite wet down in Somerset. And yeah, they say it's tending to be a bit yuck at the minute. Bootsy, would you rather call you Eric or Bootsy? Hello to you. Welcome along to the channel. It's nice to see you. Anybody else who's watching on the outside, come into the chat room and say hello, because they're all friendly in there, you know. And if you're watching this on the replay, don't forget, comment down below. Let me know that you've been watching. ask me a question and I will get back to you and try and answer it. So, yeah, the weather's been a bit grotty for most people. Oh, no. Have you got it? Is blue a tile off your roof in Yorkshire on the coast? So have you managed to get it put back on so it doesn't rain and the water doesn't get in? Oh, no one needs that, do they? So, as we head on towards the old Crimbo Day, who's got time off? What are you gonna be doing? It's very cold where Tammy is. Well, it seems to be cold everywhere. People are having unusually cold things at the minute. So, Tammy, you're in Illinois, aren't you? And if you're in Illinois, are you near the lakes and everything? Are you near Detroit and all those sorts of places? I know that's Michigan, but it's up that round that way, isn't it? My geography isn't the best, you know. I could be well wrong, but I figured it was up that top bit. Christmas tree up soon. Do you know what? We haven't even got it out of the garage yet. We will get it up at some stage, but you know what? We can't really be got bothered. We haven't got the Christmas tree up yet, but we will do because we'll have family here on Boxing Day. We're making a change this year. We've decided that, you're nearer the middle. Why do I think Illinois is up by Michigan then? Now, if you're in your middle, near St. Louis, near that big Archie thing. Right, okay. Now gotcha. We're having a change this year. We're going to do Christmas Day, the dinner and everything. We're actually going to have it on Christmas Eve this year. We've decided because I said to Debs, Christmas Day, she never has her rest because she's always doing that, or we sometimes have people around for Christmas. We're not this year, but by the time she does, she spends half of Christmas Eve doing it. And then on Christmas Day, she spends the morning getting bits and pieces ready. So I said, why don't we all have it on Christmas Eve so that she actually gets Christmas Day off altogether? And then the next day, we've got family coming around. So we can have like a lazy day, Christmas Day, watch all the Crimbo films and all that sort of stuff, and the films that we normally catch up with. And then we've got family coming around the following day. So it'll give her a bit more of a break than she normally would have. Let me just check my room. In Brickhouse. Oh, no. So Ritz Ballroom has burned to the ground. That's such a shame because if it's one of those, is it one of those old picture houses from way back when? Because it's terrible when you lose that sort of part of the town, isn't it? So it's part of the history of the town. That would be awful. Do you know what, Eric? We went into a shop today. We did our weekly shop this morning, and they didn't play any music in the shop today. Normally, they've got some really good music on, and I don't remember hearing anything today. But usually, it's the same old thing, isn't it? Everyone buys the newest compilation album to get them through Christmas, and it's always the same old songs. I like it when you hear something different. I'd like to see them go back to like the old Andy Williams Christmas albums and things like that I haven't heard for years. For me personally, we do the Phil one because I've got that on CD. And in fact, I've got it just over there. So we end up with all those hits from way back when. Luke, you say the decorations don't go up till the 13th. Well, we generally used to do ours on the 17th because of my son's birthday on the 16th. We've always tried to keep them separately. So ours tend to go up on the 17th. Although I don't know why, because he's 35 and he doesn't live with us anymore. So there's no reason to stop us putting them up earlier, other than pure laziness, if the truth be known. Bought some mantelpiece Christmas ornaments. Funnily enough, Deb's bought some Christmas ornaments today in the shop as well. So we are kind of getting ready. We're just not getting ready there quick enough. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Dave. See them old Art Deco houses, picture houses, they're great. where I am in Cambridge, they have a Weatherspoons called the Regent, and that is where an old picture house has been. But they've tried to keep the style of the picture house in the pub itself, and it's been brilliant. It's really good. So it's a shame that's happened. The Manfred's really good. They've got Paul Jones back with them now, haven't they? Like that sort of stuff. It's a shame, though. It's a shame when these old buildings start to fall apart and when then, like you said, mismanaged and closed down. Probably it's because people can't afford to go out as much as they used to. But I don't want to get into that because it's political, and we know we don't do political on this channel. So, what else? The other thing, of course, is that someone's that was Chris again, I think, was talking about music stuff. That would be great. The Manfreds, I remember seeing a poster for them and never got around to seeing them, but that's the best two in it anyway, aren't they? Yeah. Do you and I don't know about you. I love my music, as you can tell. But over the years, my hearing's got bad. I used to always have really good music systems or hi-fi or whatever you want to call it. And I loved my music and loved hearing it good. But the problem is I've gone deaf over the years, mainly because I've spent my life on fairgrounds and when I did discos and all that stuff. And when I was doing the radio, I had headphones blasting music pretty much every show. And so it's kind of done a lot of damage to my ears. So I tend to not bother with quality equipment anymore because my ears don't hear it as well as they used to. I get a bit of bass and I get the top on it, but it seems to the warmth that I used to get from music, I've kind of lost that in my hearing. So I don't spend tons of money on hi-fi like I used to. But I remember once the best music I've ever heard. We went to Harrods in London one day back around the time that George Michael had the older album out. So it was a new album at the time. And we went into Harrods and they had this music playing in the upstairs in the furniture department thing. And it sounded so beautiful. I've never heard music as lovely as it in my life. And it was loud, but it wasn't distorted. Everything sounded perfect. You could pick up every single note from it. And, oh, man, it was good. So I went to my wife, going, let's go and see how much that music centre is. That looks lovely. And we walked over and it was £11,000. Beautiful as it was, there was no way I could ever afford to buy it. Hello, Toby. How are you? I've just been telling everybody that I'm doing my third CD video, starting on it tomorrow. So by the weekend, that should be up and ready. Bose are supposed to be really good speakers. I remember when I was doing discos that I had some really good music for the disco, and Bose did them in a little tiny pole with a little bass bin on it, and they sounded really nice as well. But unfortunately, my ears are shattered now. I obviously, as you can tell, wear hearing aids in both ears, which has helped no end, to be honest with you. But tinnitus, oh, that's not very nice. I'm just having a look. Toby, more stories akin to Lonnie Donegan and Russ Conway, I hope. Well, there's some nice stuff coming up on the next one. I get from the period, I'm starting at the letter S and I'm working towards the end, but then it goes into a collection of various artists' CDs with some great stuff from all back in the years. There's some really good stuff. I was looking at it today. For example, I was born in 1960 and I have 2 4 CD box sets of not the A sides of the hits, but the B sides. And they are brilliant. And I can't wait to get talking about them and also playing a little bit of each of them. Well, not each of them because there's so many, but playing a little bit of a few of them to give you a taster of what the B-sides are like. So there's a lot of good music coming up on that. And then, of course, once we've got that done, we'll be starting on these. But this isn't all my collection. This is just what I've got here. I did say I was asked what was on the shelves, so we're doing what's on the shelves. There is much more all over the place here. Thanks, Steve. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me. There's a lot of compilations from America. Certainly, labels like Cadence. We'll be looking at the Cadence record label, which itself had people like the Everly Brothers on it, had Andy Williams on it. There was a lot of people who turned into major artists and went to bigger labels, but started off there. So there's a free CD box set and that. So there'll be some really good things there. It's going to be fun, Tammy. It may be a little bit longer than the last two, because once I get carried away, there is what was I going to say? There are box sets that height with all on one record label, which is my favorite record label from when I used to buy singles as a kid. And I'll be talking in depth about that under the label and playing you some fantastic tunes, because it's going to have some of the best stars we've ever had in rock music. I'm looking around because I know I've just dropped a pen on the floor and I don't want to roll over it with the wheels on my chair. So that's all we've got coming up. We're halfway through. I've told you what's going on last week. I've told you what I'm planning this week. What do you want to talk about then? Gilbert O'Sullivan. Oh, Toby, I love Gilbert O'Sullivan. One of my top 10 albums is Back to Front, which is in there, and we'll talk about that at some stage, from 1972. It's the one with Claire on it, but there are some really other great records on there. Gilbert O'Sullivan is not the same as Gilbert and Sullivan. Gilbert O'Sullivan was a British pop star. Gilbert and Sullivan did operettas. I've just had a thought. I've just had a memory come to me, Brenda. When I was at school, I took part in a little operetta called The Pirates of Penzance, and that's Gilbert and Sullivan. And I have that LP as well, Toby. That's up there as well. I'll be talking about that too. So, ooh, wackadoo, wackaday. Yeah, that's another one of them. So, yeah, Gilbert O'Sullivan. He's an artist that people tend to play him down, but he was a hell of a songwriter. Gilbert and Sullivan, I remember doing the Pirates of Penzance, and it was fun. And I can remember that we all had to dress up in these clothes from, like, I don't know whether it was 1800s, and it was a fun thing to do. And I was singing in it, and I have the worst voice you can imagine singing. So it sounded like cats screeching in the background. But it was very fun to do. It was something that we did in school. I'm just trying to read back in case I've missed anything from any of you. That's okay, Chris. You don't need to comment. You've been great this week. I'm still chuffed about them DVDs, I have to tell you. So, Steve, I think he's underrated, although for me, Alone Again naturally has to be one of the best top 5 singles from the 70s by a mile. It's a song that chokes me every time I hear it. I think people a lot of people my age will say that they didn't like him because he wasn't cool, he wasn't trendy or anything like that. But I'm a sucker for a good song and a good lyric. And he had loads of those. So I was well pleased for that. I'd like to go and see him at some stage. I know he goes out on his own with one other person, and they say he's brilliant. Now, anybody who's in the room, have you got any questions you want to ask? Because we have 25 minutes to go. Because, I like to go. I think an hour of me is more than enough for you at one live. So I've actually killed off my list. I have a little list of the things I want to talk about, and I've done all those. So I haven't got much else to talk about unless you want to help me along. And generally you do. You generally take me off on some little trip, don't you? I had Jonathan Brewer asked me to do a video. These are all self-help books along here. And he's asked me if I'd do a video with my favourite ones or the ones that I've found that have helped me. And the answer to that is yes, I will do. And I kind of know the first 10 that I'd talk about from out of there. And we'll do that at some stage. I've got it in a list. I do keep a list in a book, which isn't here. It's over here somewhere. And I keep a list of all the titles and ideas and things that I kind of come into my mind. Most of them are rubbish and will never be made into videos, but a few get there and we make videos about them. What about Peter Skellen, says Stephen Vowles? Well, I have this thought. I remember doing my homework when we were at Burnham. One day when I was about 14, She's a Lady was a great record. But the one that always reminds me is Hold On to Love. It came out after She's a Lady. And I can always, every time it comes on the radio, it reminds me of sitting in the cash desk in our arcade doing my homework. It's one of those records. There's a few that do that. The other ones would probably be things like Pinball by Brian Prothero, Conquistador by Procol Harum, all remind me of doing homework in the cash desk in our arcade. Because that's what I used to have to do. Brenda, I'm humbled. Thank you very much. I've watched the channel for a while. The whole point of the channel, for those of you that haven't been around long and haven't really been to many of this kind of get together and thing, the reason my channel is here at all is because it's a legacy to my two sons. And when I talk about music all the time, that's not the point of it. The other stuff I talk about, the whole idea was to leave stories about my family, stories about our life, and talk about the things that have gone wrong that we've come through so that they don't have to do it again. That's why the channel was started. And I kind of started there with no expectations of ever getting more than 2 viewers, because I only ever thought about doing this channel for them. But along the way, it's grown, and it's still a small channel. It's not massive. It's only got, 5,248 subscribers, compared to a lot of my friends who started this channel. Their channels way before me, and they've got like 30,000, 70,000, 80,000. I've still got 5,000, so I'm like tiny. But there's a thing about having quality over quantity, isn't there? That's what I like to think. My channel's followers and subscribers are the quality instead of the quantity. One day they'll get quantity, but not just yet. But basically, the reason I talk about the stuff that I do is that I've never been the smartest of people. I'm not clever. I'm just an ordinary guy who's run a few businesses along the way, come unstuck, lost a business or two along the way, lost my home once. And so when I look back over the time, I've had a lot of, like all of us, ups and downs. But what I try and do, I share the lessons that I've learned from the downs that I believe have helped move me forward and can with my children as well. So that's why I kind of talk about this stuff. And to be honest, I love all this. I love talking about these things and the things that I've learned from different people and books along the way. And I love sharing them. And it's humbling when I get people message me and tell me that something that I've said has helped them and made useful for their days. And I'm really grateful to hear that. It's my favorite thing about YouTube, to be honest. I never started it for the money because I didn't even know you could make it because I'm that dim. I started it to help my boys, and if I help other people along the way, if something that I say does some good for somebody, I'm more than grateful. But let me tell you now, I'm not clever. All I'm sharing with you are things that I've learned, which means that what the supposed wisdom I talk about comes from my experiences, and all my experiences come from the failures of my life. So hopefully if I say anything that makes any sense to some people and I help them along the way, I'm more than grateful to know that. And I'm pleased if I've helped you. God, that was a bit long-winded, wasn't it? Right, what else have I missed? What have I missed now? What have I missed? Do I remember the old grey whistle test presented by Whispering Bob? Yes, I do. But do you know what? As Steve, I'm sure, will tell you, I'm more of a Pop-Tart than a rock fella. And so I used to watch some of it. I used to look out for it if T-Rex were on or somebody like that. But I wasn't a great watcher of it. I watch it every now and again. I like to see it now because I like looking back on it like I do on Top of the Pops and things like that, because that's part of the old nostalgic guy that I am. I'm sorry, I'm just reading for a second. Don't mind me, talk among yourselves. Brenda, what you're saying is spot on. You can do this thing and you can talk about it. Don't worry about looking silly or stuff like that, because I do that every day. Your stories, the things that you've gone through, the situations you've had, I talk about it over and over again, and I'll probably even mention it in my next video. The stuff that went years ago that you used to think to yourself, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? And then you look back on it now and you can grin and chuckle about what the things that happened to you years ago. It's because you've become a stronger person. It's because you've learned so many things along the way. And the lessons that you have, we're all unique. We all see things in different ways. The things that I talk about, it doesn't mean to say that I'm a know-all or I'm even right. Because you may come at me from a different angle and say, no, James, what you've said, I can see where you're coming from, but this is how I see it. And your thoughts may be different to mine, but they're no less valid. And there will be people out there who watch different channels and watch you talking and saying about your life and talking about the stories that you know and the things that you've had go wrong, that will love your actual take on it. Whereas I could say exactly the same thing and they wouldn't be interested in the slightest. The fact is, we're all different. We all have a story to tell. We've all gone through the mill, if the truth be known, because nobody goes through life easily. And so your stories are going to be as much valid as any of mine. And one thing I've noticed, I tell my wife this all the time, ladies seem to do much better than men on YouTube when it comes to talking about self-help, feelings, and all that sort of stuff. I watch a lady who started a little bit after me, and I think the last time I had a quick look over there, she was on 90,000 viewers. She probably got more now, but we cover the same type of content, but she covers it in a way, and she has absolutely loads of ladies watching her channel. So I think if you want to do it, do it. Don't worry about doing anything clever. This live stream, for example, I'm talking to my phone. That's it. A phone and a little tripod stuck on there. Nothing special. There's a tiny little mic just there. Cheapo mic. So don't worry about it. Just go for it. If you want to do it, go and do it. Do you know what? You're right about that. Society shames men. Men are supposed to be this big roughy tufty thing, but you see, I'm different. I'm a heart on my sleeve guy. I can't keep how I'm feeling to myself. If I'm happy, you'll know it. If I'm miserable, you know it. You just have to look at my face. But what changed it all for me, and it's really coming close to that time. It's really coming close to that time. I'm on an anniversary. It's the 8th today. On the 23rd of December 2016, they took my kidney away because I had a huge big lump on there. I call it the squatter. And they took it away from me. And there was a period from when I found out, which was on the 8th of November that year. I had a period of, I think it was 18 days, maybe wrong, but I think it was 18 days where I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know whether it would be my last Christmas I was going to share. I didn't know how many more times I'd see my children. I was worried about how Debs would be if anything happened to me, all those sorts of things that you would imagine. And the biggest thing that it did, you know, was it got me thinking. It got me thinking, and I don't do Facebook anymore. My page is still there, but I don't use it anymore. But it got me thinking about, over the years, all of the people who have helped me along the way, people who have looked out for me. I've been very lucky. Been very lucky that I was brought up in a situation with loads of people. Because I come from a fairground family, there was a community of people around you. And although it was different places at different times and all different people, they're all from the same stock and they all run the businesses the same kind of way. And they kind of taught you right from wrong and kept you going. And so it got me thinking about my life, and it got me thinking about the people that had helped me, and it made me start to relate to the world differently. The things that I thought, this is the biggest thing. Those 18 days or 10 days or whatever it was, there was a period in them 10 days where all the things I thought were important of my life, you know, earning a living, trying to better yourself, trying to get nice cars, have nice houses, have good holidays and all that thing. It was those things, all of the things that was going on. And at the time, very much like now, I suppose, politics and all arguing about different things was going on. And it all became noise. My love of music didn't even come into my life at that time. It just became noise. And so what it was like going on there, but it had no effect. And it was then that I realized that the things that were important to me were the people that I loved. My friends, my family, and the people that I loved. They were the most important things. And so I made a point of letting everybody know. I'm not very good at picking up the phone and talking to a person and saying thank you for all the things you did for me. I wish I could do it, but I'm not very good at it. So what I did is I wrote Facebook posts and did that same thing on Facebook on a regular basis to people. Every time I thought of somebody who'd done something that had made my life better along the way, and there were lots, I'd write a post on Facebook. Even if they weren't on there, I know that their family members who were on there and friends of mine would get the message so they could pass it on. And it was affirming, it was life-changing, and I'm so pleased that I did it. And then when I did that, I started thinking about my boys and what I got to leave them. Now, I've lost a couple of businesses, as I've said, I've lost homes. I'm not a rich person, I'm not a wealthy person, but what I do have are stories and life lessons that I could have passed on to my children. And so that's what I've done, and that's how I'm here today. I know for a lot of the time I just talk rubbish on here, but those things there, these books came about because I lost everything. I started reading books because I wanted knowledge from people who knew more than I did. I knew that I'd made mistakes along the way, and I knew that I didn't know it all. And I still don't know it all. I keep looking for more, but I don't find it. But I managed, I figured, everyone kept saying to me, oh, this rah-rah, it's all that positive stuff. It doesn't, it's just talk. But the thing is, I can pick a book up, say this one, right? It's backward view. I know you're watching it backwards. And I can pick it up and I can read it, and someone who is more learned than I am can say something on there. You could read a whole book of that thickness, and it may not be of use to you at all, but there may be just one thing. If you check it out, if you check it out and you find one thing in there that's useful to you at the time, it's great. I end up reading most books with a highlighter pen, so that each time I go to it, I'll highlight stuff that's important to me now, and then the next time I do it, there's a highlight. And the next time I go to it, I'll use different colour pen, and I may find something different. And I use the supermarket approach when I read a book. And what I mean by that is that it's like going to a supermarket. You don't buy everything in the shop. You buy what you need at the time. And so that's what I do with these books. I take what I need from them at the time, and I'll read it, take that out there. And if I've highlighted it, and I know that it's in certain book, there's something I wanted to remember, there's something that has been spoken about, and I wanted to check it, I would go back into the book, open it up, flick through it, go through the highlights, and I know it's there. On a subsequent reading, sometime later, which I do often, I'll put, if it's yellow, the next one might be an orange highlighter. So I'll find it different, because each time you read a book, it kind of has different things jump out at you. And like I said, I'm not the cleverest person, but I'm not stupid either. I know that they know more than I do. And so I would that's why I read the books. I know I'm going on, and but you sort of started me on one of my great loves, which is talking about this kind of stuff, because you can help someone by covering the stuff that you know. Now, I've had situations with my health, and I've talked about it quite openly in the past, about different things that have gone on, not to get people going, I mean, oh, poor you. I don't need that. My ego's quite good. I don't need people to blow wind up my backside, blow smoke my backside, if you know what I mean. The reason I tell the stories that I tell is that somewhere someone might just read my posts or my blogs, or watch a video and go, wow, thanks for that. You've made me feel less alone today. Because when we're all going through the mill, we feel very lonely. I'm not the only one. And it still happens to me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the cleverest, but I'm not stupid either. And if each one of us have got something to offer, something to share, and doing it on here is as good a place as any. I know I complain and I moan about that. Oh, I put this effort in and the video didn't do very well, and I've only had 60 viewers and all that sort of stuff. In the past, I've moaned about that. But the thing of them is, if I was stood in a hall in front of 60 people telling them stuff, and they were getting something out of it, then I can be quite pleased with myself. But when I look at my data on here and see that I've only got 60% of the viewers who started watching it when you're 30 seconds in, the rest have all gone, it does kind of put you in the place and remind you that, hey, you're not the big know-all after all. Quality over quantity, exactly. Thank you, Tammy. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You know, Brenda, losing it all is a godsend because I don't think I'd have learned anything without the mistakes I've put myself through. I can remember at one stage thinking to myself, why did I want to be an adult? Life was so easier when my mum and dad sorted everything out. I'm sure you've done it as well. So, yeah, I seem to have gone right one way. Let me just check back, see what everyone else is talking about in case I've left everybody behind. Toby, I love the Friday night showings of the Top of the Pops. The only ones I don't bother with are the 90s ones, but I record them all and watch them whenever I get a spare half hour. Steve, oh, Alice Cooper and School's Out. I can remember that. Definitely know it. Definitely remember that one. But I liked some of his other ones as well. I liked Hello Hooray. Department of Youth was a favourite of mine for Alice Cooper. And Poison. I loved Poison. Doesn't sound right, does it? Four times make strong men. Is that the quote? I don't know. I haven't heard that one, Chris. I'll have to check. It's really nice, you know. It's really nice that what I've got to say sometimes helps some people. It kind of makes it all worth it. But then again, when I start talking about DVDs and music, that's fun too. So I like to talk about that as well. But we have 8 minutes left. That's gone quickly tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. You've kept me on the ball. I remember saying that when it was about a half hour. Have you got anything else to talk about? Yeah, I love that, Steve. Love that record. Still do. This is the other thing of my life. You're going to just know that I love my music, and I often talk about that. And I said it on the very first of the videos when I was talking about these. My musical tastes range from you've got to listen to this to please don't judge me because I've got a very eclectic kind of taste in music, and I'm very much the pop tart. I call myself a pop tart. I love the charts. I love the singles, the 45s. I used to collect them. I had thousands of the things. Don't have them all today, but I have copies of everything on CD. I bought so many CDs to replace singles and things. So yeah, my music is important to me. Films are important. I've just seen. What did I just see? Somebody else. What were the symptoms? James, the symptoms when I had cancer and the lump on the side, I'd actually had a stomach ache in the September, and I didn't feel well. And I went to the doctor about the stomach ache, and he gave me some tablets. I can't remember what they were, and said, come back and see me in a fortnight. I took the tablets, went back to him in a fortnight, and it had gone. So he just did a quick check over, asked me if I felt all right. I said yes. And as I was leaving the surgery, here's something really important, right? As I was leaving the surgery, he said to me, James, all the time you've been a patient in the surgery, you have had a fatty liver. I'm going to send you to get an ultrascan, find out what this fat, how it is, how bad it is, and then we'll see about doing something to get rid of the fatty liver. It was while doing the ultrascan for the fatty liver, they found the lump the size of a lemon on my kidney. That's how I came about it. It wasn't that I was in any pain or anything like that. It was just the fact that I had a damn good doctor who was thorough. Because if he hadn't have called me back in there, the first I would have known would have been, I don't know, 6 months, a year, whenever, going to the toilet and finding blood. But I was very lucky because he went and did it for me and sorted it all out. And he was very good because on the day of the scan, they got back to him that day. And that day, he booked appointments at the hospital for MRI scans and all that sort of thing, and also appointments with specialists and things. So I was really, really lucky. In the matter of from the 8th of November, when I went to have the scan, to the 23rd or the 22nd or 23rd of December, when they did the operation to take it away. So in a very small space of time, all of that came about because I had a doctor who just wanted to find out one more thing. And so that was how there were no symptoms. I was just lucky. Almost afraid to ask, am I following the cricket? No, I'm not following the cricket. As I loved cricket when I was young, and I played cricket when I was young, but I kind of left it all behind and don't really know more. Where am I now? Where am I now? What have we got? What have we got? Hashtag V2 on both sides of the coin. Yeah, that was basically it, Brenda. He said that had you not had the scan and they found it where it was, that would be my symptom, and there would be blood in the urine and all that sort of stuff. And so I was very lucky, and I am always grateful for that. And it changed my life in the way that I see things and the way that I go on in this world, because all of the things that were important to me up until that time, music included, I found out weren't as important to me as I thought they were. And the things, the pushing to build businesses and all that sort of stuff, and trying to be the big businessman and all that rubbish, I found out that that's exactly what it was. It was just rubbish, just noise in the background. The important stuff was the stuff around the people you care for, the people you love, and the people you can help, and all that sort of thing. And so, wow, this has turned heavy, isn't it? We don't normally talk heavy on here. It's normally just a chat, and we just talk about some old stuff that's going on, a bit of music generally. But yeah, so that's where we stand there. Anyone who is watching the repeat of this, thanks for coming along. I hope you've made some comments down below and tell me what you want me to talk about. Get in touch. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and we'll try and do our best. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know it all. And some of the times what I say may be absolute rubbish. But there you go. I make no bones about it. You only get you get my view on things, my thoughts on things. I share what I can, and hopefully it's of use. If it's not, then hey, I know there are people who click onto my videos and are gone within 10 seconds of it, because we're not for everybody. None of us are. But as I said to you earlier, Brenda, if you want to do this kind of thing, do it. You got nothing to lose, and you can help somebody, and the feeling you get when you do that is wonderful. Right, we're going to wrap this up. I got about a minute and a half to go before we get to the hour. I hope you've all enjoyed this so far this evening. Is there anything else you want me to just chat about quickly before we go? I'm doing music videos this week. Like I said, we've got a video coming out on Wednesday. What did I write down? What it was? I can't even remember. There's so much going on these days. Why do we fear change? That's basically what my video is on Wednesday. And I talk about a few things that are close to my heart and share them with you. So hopefully they'll be of use to you. And of course, on the weekend, well, the weekend's a good time for a bit of music, isn't it? And so hopefully we'll get that done. And who knows what happens between now and the next time we meet. I want to see the frog dance. It's not a frog dance. It's a song, right? It's a song, Chris. I have it. I've got to edit it because I got called lots of names for getting her to do this. She said, I can't believe you've made me do this. So she's, it's a little song that she sings to kids it's a little song that she sings to kids in the nursery that she works at. And she pulls faces and does little dances and all that sort of thing. and it's great. She came home to me one night a couple of weeks ago and said about it. And as we were talking about it last week, I thought I'd get her to do it for you. I will say that she didn't want to do it, and she certainly didn't want to do it live. I did offer her the choice. Steve, thank you so much. Good to see you again. Hope you do well on the quiz night tonight. You go win it for a change. Come on. I know you can do that. You're a smart cookie. Get out there, win it for us. And that's it from me for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it and found some of it of use to yourself. And we'll do this again next Monday. Thanks to all of you for popping in. Cristiano, good to see you. I hope they're going to get it under control. Maybe if you do agree to do the dance before. There is a video, James, I will tell you, back in my past on here, where you see me boogieing around the living room in our house. So I have known for a little boogie. And when I had my operation and I was having to get fit, I used to dance around here in this office, put the music on, have a little jig, have a little boogie. And that's it from me. I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for being here. I love Monday nights. These are great fun. I'll see you next time. Ta-da.